I made money on a textbook mid-range entry with a great stop loss, good take profit, just following the trend with full VWAP alignment. Now, if you want to learn more about this strategy that we're going to go into here, it is all available on ASFX TV. You get your first month free. Just use code FIRST. You can find the link down below. And you want to check out Futures 2.0. It's also where we're live streaming every morning, so definitely check that out. But let's go over today's setup. So like I said, it's a mid-range entry. Now, the first 15 minutes of the day was bearish. I'm not getting induced into shorts or even looking for shorts, because we're still above this black overnight VWAP. So buyers are still in control. You also look on the 15 minutes, the same VWAP, but it was bullish overnight. As far as I'm concerned, for now, this might just be the pullback we need to go trade back in the direction of this bullish trend. So I'm waiting for the open range to set, first of all, which is those first 15 minutes of the day, and for buyers to step back in. And they take New York VWAP here right at 9:45 when the opening range is setting. So the stop loss goes at the bottom. Mid-range entry, I'm targeting the high. I want to always trade back to structure to the left. In this case, today's high of day. Now, it takes a little bit of time, but I'm never told that I'm wrong. We're still building higher lows. The reason I have a stop loss at the low here is because as long as it doesn't make a new low a day, I want to be long. It could still be forming higher lows underneath, above both of these VWAPs. So we sit through it, Maybe in a more advanced world, I get a little bit more comfortable adding in the longer it sits there, right? Something I always try to be working on. I'm not told I'm wrong. Can I be looking for things that are confirming my idea? Couldn't have been a bad idea today. Now, if you notice how long it takes, just compared to my normal trades, I don't walk away with it at the open range high, just scalping a little bit of the move. It's been 40 minutes now. It didn't move like I thought. I thought we'd have a little bit stronger of a trend. It is still confirming my idea. I mean, the 15-minute looks completely fine. Buyers are definitely in. My patience is just wearing a little thin. I don't want to let this winner, floating win, maybe come back around and I got to go back to a drawdown, break even, maybe even lose, right? So if I can make some money on a Monday, we'll bag some money and we could always look for another re-entry. Now, this was on Monday. This is the previous Friday, the previous trading session. So far, only 2 this year. It's the same idea. But now notice how much quicker this one moves. Mid-range entry, stop loss at the bottom, take profit at the top. And this one broke right through it, so I got a nice little exit on that. But maybe it moved a little bit quicker because the range was a little bit tighter. The volatility was there. Who knows, right? But that's what I'm expecting it or wanting it to move like today, right? Buyers are in. Let's go get that high. Just didn't happen as quickly. It's not my fault. Whatever. But I got to go with consistent stop losses to allow it to hold through like today, where you can look on this markup we're looking at. Technically, it didn't matter where your stop was because it's just nothing but buyers. But it's off the same VWAP where I'm not getting induced into shorts here. Retest the overnight. Let's go trade back higher. Now, one thing to also maybe notice on this one is the first sign of buyers stepping in is here, right? But it's still within the first 15 minutes. I'm not really jumping into a trade. The open range isn't even set yet. At that time, the open range low was here. So if I had a stop loss there, going to lose first, and then buyers step in. So just a little bit of patience, waiting for the first 15 minutes to shake out. But as long as we hold VWAPs, I want to be back on the side of all of them. And the exit has to be first break of opening range, right? You can see it here in my notes. That's what the strategy calls for because they very rarely just rip and run. It's all taught in Futures 2.0, like I said, so definitely go check that out. Now, if you look at it here, you can get rid of these drawings. Let's go to ES to start, or NQ works as well. Those were on NQ. We could take a look at ES to start. Now, on ES, the first break of open range high, you can see, doesn't really run. Just a first break, buyers are in, but not a whole lot more movement on it here. If you look at this New York VWAP at 9:30, the first break comes. It's inducing a lot of amateurs to chase the breakout. First of all, I have a video on this channel about not doing that because it's suckering you in to a bad price. You might be right on direction, but let's see if we could pull back and get a better price closer to New York. So now if we play that same trade idea I took on NQ, waiting for buyers to take New York, you can see there's nothing but a little bit of pins here. So buyers aren't fully in. I can't fully be in yet, but it is nice that buyers are in and not breaking for a new low a day, right? So any long you're in should have held. But realistically, your entry would be here on the break above New York. Now, like I said in the last markup, I want to trade into structure to the left, the previous higher high if we're looking for longs. And that's right there. Not really the most appealing trade to try to want to go get. I want to be priced in down here, but since the candle was so strong, you probably don't get that price. Now, it does work out. It does make a new high. The second break of opening range runs a little bit better. Exactly why we look for that trade, not the first one back here. But I just don't love chasing how close we are to the high. It's not a bad trade, just not what I prefer, especially when I can compare it to my NQ here, which had plenty of room to try to go get 1R or whatever, right? Same thing on this trade, easily. Trade back to the highs, nice little 1R win. So if you made money on ES or NQ, they were both on the upside today. Stop loss paramount has to be at the bottom of the range for a mid-range entry or whatever. As long as it doesn't make a new low a day, buyers are still holding in. So it took a little bit of time, but it does work its way a little bit higher. Now, another thing you could have looked at, which we had on at the start of this, is a handoff VWAP. I don't use it every day or very often. It's definitely viable, just not something I use consistently. You can see it was definitely respected today. So there could be argues for money to be made off some scalps on this VWAP as it's building higher lows, but not coming back to New York, which is where my strategy wants it to be, exactly why we were wanting to be long down there at the VWAP. Just doesn't return there today. So not the strength to do so, but it's not bad to use a handoff. You just want to be a little bit more picky with it and try to study it the best you can, do some markups on when it's respected, when it's not. You can see it stopped being respected back here, right? So if you're long it there, doesn't really run for you. Not a bad thing, just was kind of done trending. Now, interestingly enough, if you looked at NQ, like I was saying, a little bit more bearish to end the session, but I made money on this small little piece of the move. Did it go a little bit higher? Sure. That's as high as it went. Didn't really leave anything much on the table, first of all, but also I'm not looking to run these things forever. If I could just snag and bag little base hits, I could always get another re-entry either today, tomorrow, whenever. Just keep showing up with consistent entries, but get good exits. If you can get green, get green. Don't just let it float there and do nothing about it, and it comes back to your break-even price and you walk away with nothing. That's how you stay in the hamster wheel. Now, we could also look at this initial balance, which was pretty much the whole range. We broke out of the initial balance high. And now when we do that, we probably don't double break. So there maybe was money to be made short below the New York VWAP here. I just don't love trading to this overnight. I know I don't like shorting it on a breakout over here, expecting or wanting it to make a new low a day. Because you can see here on Edgeville, if you go to the report, on the initial balance, when you filter it to Mondays, only 11.5% of the time. 3 out of the last 26 Mondays have we double broken that initial balance. So being that we took out the top, I'm really not expecting enough sellers to also break the bottom. So it kind of just turns me off to the shorts. Could you have made some money there if you're close to VWAP? Yeah, just not the easiest money. You'd have to get some really good exits because it probably, and it didn't, want to go for a new low a day. Right? So just knowing that stat that we probably don't go for new lows, even though we do look short bias, you want to know a target that it probably doesn't want to reach. So definitely something to look at. Hopefully I'll see you guys on stream. We took some trades on there this morning. I did an update to Futures 2.0 in December. So definitely go check that out if you've seen the original or you've never seen any of it. Go through that for your first month free. The link to that's always down below. Ask some questions, trade with us, see what we're taking, what we're not, and check out the top one sale. You can now copy trade 10 accounts, depending on when you're watching this. So crazy deal. Copy trade 10 Ignite accounts, take a 10K payout. Absolutely crazy. So Code Evan's always running the best deal, so check him out down below. I'll see you guys on stream tomorrow morning.